Hey guys, George Mesa, Third Eye Edify podcast. And I'm back to update my prediction from episode 67. Are we all doomed? Clearly referencing the game Doom and a very peculiar thing that happened with the release of its most recent game, Doom Eternal, and how it was scheduled to come out the day that we were all scheduled to be locked down from COVID-19. COVID-19 84, why don't we just call it that? And at the time, I had mentioned there is a new Doom game coming out called Doom: The Dark Ages. And there was no release date at the time, but today a release date was made, May 15th, 2025. I had predicted May 16th as one of those dates, but lo and behold, just by total coincidence, and this does not mean anything, of course, but if you take 5/15, you get 11. If you take 2025, you get 9. So it is an 11/9, 9/11 thing. Just a coincidence, of course, but that's not the main point here. The main point is this. Entertainment is made to cast spells, but it is also made to prepare the mind and to almost clear the guilt, almost to vindicate before anything ever happens, to pardon, such as it were, anyone from any wrongdoings, if indeed something does happen they told you about. I talk about this concept in my book, World War U, and I do believe it is World War U and all of us. So what's happening here? Strangely enough, and this is the image from that article that I'm about to mention here. Here, of course, is this a doctor making something for us? Are we expecting this again? This is an article that just came out. This episode is being recorded January 23rd, 2025. This article is from January 7th, 2025. Black Death, the next global pandemic? Our good friends at Oxford and AstraZeneca are working on a new vaccine. What is this vaccine for, you ask? I quickly mentioned it in the previous episode 67, but it's for the bubonic plague. It's for the Black Death. They're making a vaccine just in case Black Death comes around again. There's also a link to other such exciting articles as the fatal problem of antimicrobial resistance gaining ground in human beings, something like that. Very exciting stuff, of course. But I'm here for two reasons today. I want to help more people put their foot down about vaccines. Surprise, surprise. Our fresh, new yet old president, day one, health is coming. Make health great again. Day two, I've got an mRNA AI created cancer vaccine just for you from people that really love technology. It's going to be wonderful, guys. Maybe I'll do an episode on it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But I told you so is an understatement at this point when it comes to trusting the people in power, the powers that shouldn't be, and presidents or elected or unelected officials in general. You elect some guy, and then he brings in all these people you never liked. But people like me and many others have been warning you about these people for a very long time. Prepare yourselves for something. Now, the main point of the episode, prepare yourselves. I am out now to make a prediction. I do not want any of these predictions to ever come to fruition, but making predictions is important in this space. It allows people to mentally prepare for something. Now, what are they preparing for? Do the makers of this game know that? I don't know. I'm not saying that ID, the company that makes Doom, id, or the current director of the project, Hugo Martin, yes, I'm a Doom fan, okay? I can beat Plutonia UV pistol start, in case anyone needs to know whether or not I'm really good at Doom or not. But I still, it's just a hobby for me, right? Did I play Legacy of Rust? Yes. Did I pistol start the entire thing with barely any saves? Yes. I'm not here to show off. I don't play. I don't practice. I'm not constantly doing it. I put the time in to beat this short game, and that's all the time I've had for an entire year to play any video games. It's something that it's a hobby of mine, and I just kind of had to do it. It's like an itch you got to scratch, you know? But my ear is to the ground for a very good reason here. The bubonic plague essentially led to the Dark Ages. The plague 1346 to like 1354. I have it written. I'm not looking. Yeah, 1346 to 1353. I'm sure it's exact. But the Dark Ages starts in the 15th century, the 1400s, not long afterwards. Now, suddenly, at the announcement of the new Doom, when the previous one came out the day of the lockdowns and they released it a day early just so everyone could still get it, now the new Doom game is coming out. The same president that was there is now back. They just waited for him to come back into office to make this announcement, it seems. And now, middle of May, we're going to have Doom, the Dark Ages. It's a very heavy coincidence for me. And I feel as if it is my duty to mention that, hey, just be ready. What else is coming out in May? What else is due in May? The Real ID in the United States. So, get ready. Whether something happens that day or not, whether something around that time occurs, whether it's a bubonic plague or you must take this vaccine, 2025 is sure to be anything but lame. That's another understatement at the very least, I'm sure. But this is a public service announcement that I felt very passionate about pressing record for. So stick around. Let's see what happens. Hopefully nothing. But if you were to ask me, do you really think this whole thing's ever going to happen again? I would say I predict potentially middle of May would be the next possible date for something extreme. And boy, do I really definitely fucking hope I am very, very, very wrong. Thank you, everyone. I hope you are doing well this year so far. And keep living your lives. Don't change a thing. But do stay tuned. Plenty more here. And plenty more from this crazy world. And what's not to like? Love is back and stronger than ever. And that's what matters most. Love, friends, family, random people. It comes back immediately. And how you behave dictates everything about you, from spiritual to physical. It's not just about eating right and getting sleep. There's a lot more to the game. And since I have a brand new baby, sleep is not necessarily super number one top priority, but I am actually sleeping quite well. I've said it on this show. I've said it my whole life. I am the luckiest person I've ever met. And I will stick by that. So join me in my lucky adventure for the next episode coming soon. Thank you again. Find me on Patreon for exclusives. My exclusives are on Rockfin as well, but I think Patreon does a better job of taking care of its people directly. Thank you again. See you soon.